Okay. So today's topic, like you can see, it is cracking the mood problem. So now begins, so far I have been giving you a little background, right, about mooting, what mooting is, when did it start. So now is the exercise part. Now we begin the real thing. Okay. So real thing in the sense that now first thing is, first thing first, I will be giving you a mood problem. Okay, I will be giving you a mood problem. That means mood problem is nothing but just a bunch of facts. I will just give you a story, 1 page or 2 page. Okay, at the max 2 pages, a story, and that story will, be related to some sort of a. Yeah, somebody's audio is on. Can you please switch your audio on because I can hear a lot of disturbance. Okay, so cracking the mood problem means here, when a problem is given to you, a set of facts is given to you. Now, what are you supposed to do with it? Like when I introduced you the subject, I told you you're supposed to prepare a memorial. I told you you're supposed to argue the case. Okay, just like an advocate who will prepare the written submission and therefore thereafter submit it before the court in the same lines. Okay, now before that, the first step is cracking the mood problem. Last time I told you that when a client comes to you, the client will not come and say that your learned advocate mo 376 matter le raha learned advocate most 354 IPC matter le raha. They will not come with a clear cut provision of law and say that your case ho banera. Okay, so they will not even know that whether the area is like civil mounts, criminal mounts, because they are lay persons. Okay, so you're a story lera, so they will come with a story. So it is for you to understand that fact, that story that the client narrates to you. No, it is for you to understand that, and then now step by step go ahead towards the legal aspects. It is for you to analyze the legal aspects. So this cracking the mood problem will help you in that step. Okay, so when you first meet the client, listen to a story. Now, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to research? How are you supposed to prepare your paperwork? This is exactly the area which helps you in that aspect. Okay, so cracking the mood problem. Clear with what we are going to do today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so cracking the mood problem means a problem will be given to you. Now you will have to work on it. Okay, and how? I will tell you. Okay, so this is with regard to you can also say mooting tips. Okay, first things to do when you get a mood problem. After this lecture is over, I will give you a mood problem and I will give you 2-3 days time for you to prepare your submission. Okay, so please listen to this lecture very carefully because this will give you an idea as to once I receive the mood problem, now what am I supposed to do? Okay, this will answer your query. So today I'm giving you the tips as to what to do when you get a mood problem. First thing is read the rules. I will also give you the rules. Okay, rules means what are the deadlines. Firstly, when I'm saying that you will have to submit your memorial, prepare your memorial and please submit it before before such and such date. So that is very important. Again, and it is not just me who is saying that, but you all have studied Limitation Act, right? Have you studied Limitation Act?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Well, can anybody tell me what is it? What does it exactly say in general?
The deadline for filing complaints.
Very good. Yes, the deadlines. That means you have a fact. You cannot wait for 2 years or 3 years. Let's say a simple, a person who says comes to you and say that if, let's say your friend, okay, or your neighbor says that बहिनी तपाईं त ल परेको मेरो यति यति पैसा मेरो फलानाले मेरो नेबरले लगेको छ 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees अहिलेसम्म फर्काएको छैन. So last, you know, 2 महिना अगाडि लगेको थियो न म के गर्नु. Okay, that is a simple fact or a problem, simple mood problem. Okay, simple problems that somebody comes. The first thing is, when I'm relating it with the deadline, is first thing is you should be aware that there is a certain limitation period, like Rupesh just mentioned. You cannot wait for, you know, study and wait for like 2, 3, 4 years, and after that, okay, now I'll file the case for that person. That will not do. Okay, so there is a certain amount of period of time that is allocated by law, that within this period of time of when the cause of action arose, whenever the cause of action arose, during that time you please bring the matter before the court. After that, the court will also not entertain the matter. Okay, so that is for this purpose that deadline is very important. Okay, so whenever I give you an exercise, this is again to help you with that aspect, because what happens is, when a client comes to you and when you check the limitation period, and if you count the days or dates mentioned, let's say 60 days was the limitation period, and client has already come to you in the 40th day. Okay, so you have like very less amount of time in your hand. No, within that date, you know, as a lawyer, that you have to file that case within that date. So within that short period of time also, you need to prepare the case, and then prepare the submission, and then do your filing within time. Okay, so this is an exercise to help you with that. You will be facing that kind of a thing as well. So read the rules when you get the problem, that please file it on time. Okay, so whenever I give you an exercise, please remember time period also. Next, memorials. Those who have participated very well know that you will have to file or prepare the memorial for both sides. For the petitioner side also, like, means you are given the role of a petitioner's lawyer. You have to prepare the memorial for petitioner side, and the respondent side as well. Okay, so please read the rules, whether it says that you have to prepare for both sides or for just for one side. Again, this also comes with a purpose. This is for you to help think like a lawyer. Okay, right now you think like a law student, no? So both sides. Why? Because this is actually an exercise, helps you to think like a lawyer. You can juggle both areas. Okay, then word count. Is there a word limit in the rules, whether that's mentioned? Are there any formatting requirements? Sometimes in the practice procedure rules, drafting rules, formatting requirements are also given, so strictly you'll have to adhere to that. Okay, so these are the things. The first thing is, please read the rules, and when you are drafting your memorial, please firstly follow the rules in terms of deadlines, in terms of word count or formatting. Clear? Okay, so now let's go ahead. Firstly, read the rules. Now a problem is in your hand. Second thing that you do is read the problem. There is no escape. You have to read the problem. Okay, you cannot just read 1 or 2 lines and say, oh my God, it's quite confusing. Okay, so the alternative is read the problem, read the problem, read the problem. So that means read the problem until you are master of the facts. When you start practicing and you are a fresher, or the judge obviously comes to know that you are a fresher, you've just started practicing, the judge will not even ask you about law points. When you are standing in front of the judge will simply ask you about the fact. Client ko story ke sa background ke sa, you've come for this, what has happened, is this so the simple thing is, firstly, please master the facts. If you do not know the facts properly, then you cannot proceed at all. So read the story. I've written it 3 times already. So at least 3 times, please read the story, read the fact. Okay, understand the fact and master the facts. That means even if you close your eyes, shut your eyes, you know that, okay, this is the story, this is the fact that I have in my hand. Clear? First step.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, so first step, okay, besides reading the rules, read the fact. Now, once you have read the facts, okay, let's take one, that same example where your neighbor has approached you and said that his friend had borrowed 1 lakh rupees from him and then has not returned since certain date. Okay, so this story has been given to you. Now, the timeline, you will ask him about it. The person might give you additional information about the timeline also. No, it was this particular date on this particular instance, and that point of time, this person was also next to me. That means there is a witness. Sign gareko thiena. So these are all the facts, right? So you should know everything about it. And installment ma alikiti amount deko thyo wala. So there will be here and there facts, little facts, which could be relevant for you. Okay, so please read the problem well, understand the facts well. Number 1. Number 2, highlight unclear facts. When I have given you a moot problem, at the end of this lecture, I'll give you a moot problem. Then when the problem is given to you, I'm sure that you will find that 1 or 2 lines or 3 or 4 lines of that problem. You are facing problem in the sense that you do not know what exactly is happening in these 2 lines. It is a bit confusing. Okay, so highlight those unclear facts, and like I've written it in your this PPT also. These unclear facts are probably the most important fact of the case. You should understand that the fact that are unclear could be actually very important. It is deliberately given. Okay, I have deliberately made it confusing so that it could confuse you or it could challenge you. Okay, so whenever there is a moot court competition, also the organizers, the drafters of the moot problem, sometimes they might come up with difficult or confusing set of facts also. Okay, so if you come across such areas, then you highlight those points and with a highlighter, or you underline that particular area and keep it aside. Okay, so now you have in a hand your facts that you have read very well, story, and then 1 or 2 areas where you find confusing, please highlight and keep it aside. Okay, but that means that area needs further deliberation, further research. Okay, or if there is a confusion, you can even ask me, ma'am, this part or this fact was a little unclear. Okay, in moot court competitions also same thing happens. Some time is given, moot problem is given, then some time is given for your if there are any queries, no, so queries to be answered, some time is given. So when the mooters who participate, they send an email to the organizers saying that this part is very unclear, please clarify. Okay, so for clarifications also the date is given. Okay, clear? Yes, okay. So first step is read the rules. Second step, read the problem. Third, if there are any unclear facts, underline them. Okay, next, and the first thing that you read after that, that is in the facts. Like yesterday I told you, in the facts I will say that this case has finally been brought before the Supreme Court, or finally been brought before the High Court of Sikkim after an appeal in the lower court. So first thing you should read is or find out is which court are you appearing before. You case tamaile payo. Okay, I got this case. Now, where am I supposed to appear? Which court am I supposed to appear for this matter? Okay, so first question that you should seek in your problem is, in your problem, obviously the answer will be there, but you need to find the answer as to which court are you appearing before. Then, under what law does it have jurisdiction over the matter? That means if I have given you a problem and saying that finally this case was decided in lower court, and the court, since the petitioners were not happy with the decision, they have approached the High Court of Sikkim. If that is given in the problem, that means now your answer is which court are you appearing before? You are appearing before the High Court of Sikkim. Second, under what law does it have jurisdiction? You know that High Court has jurisdiction, and High Court's jurisdiction is given under which law?
Article 226 of Indian Constitution.
Yes, constitution. So very simple. You know which provision has the jurisdiction. Okay. Then can jurisdiction be challenged on any grounds? That means now you have to think. Now you are slowly thinking like a lawyer. Okay. Now you have to think that, okay, this matter is actually, from, let's say, Jharkhand. So High Court of Sikkim does not have jurisdiction over the territory of Jharkhand, isn't it? No territorial jurisdiction of Jharkhand. So that means I can challenge this and say that this matter has not been brought before the correct court. So I can challenge this, and then this matter can be rejected even before entering the matter of law. On the matter of jurisdiction only, I can kick this matter out. Okay, so there could be these areas as well. Okay, then is it appellate or original jurisdiction? You'll have to check that as well. That means original means the case where when the matter is filed for the first time, okay, first instance, and appellate, whether it has gone for an appeal. So check for that as well. Okay, so this is the step after reading your facts, after reading the rules, after reading the facts, then you are checking, okay, which court has this matter come into. Okay, so jurisdiction, jurisdiction is the something which determines whether the court court has the power to hear the case or not. Okay, so this is an area which will be your first step when you get hold of your problem. Is this part clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you have any doubt, let me know. Okay, jurisdiction. Okay, now you have already checked my problem. I received my problem. It says that this matter is brought before the High Court of Sikkim. I've written it down, Sikkim. Now, what is your next step? Your next step is to identify the issues from the problem. Problem, like I told you, is a set of facts. Like I said that this Mr. X, my neighbor, Mr. X, this person, a resident of Gangtok, borrowed money from Rupesh, okay, on such and such date, and in the presence of Karma Doma, who was a witness. This is a set of facts. Now, from this fact, you have also identified that jurisdiction. This matter has finally been brought in front of the district judge after an appeal from civil judge. So you have also identified it is brought before the district judge. Now I'm saying identify the issue. Issue means the area where both parties do not agree. Okay, that means point of conflict. So point of conflict means, okay, then the answer comes that no, when Rupesh is saying I did not give money, then the other person is Mr. X is saying that I did not take money. Rupesh is saying I did not take money, and Mr. X is saying that no, you took money from me. So that is the area of conflict, isn't it? So the issue is what? Whether, issue means question, your question has to be answered, no, resolved. So issue is whether Rupesh took money from Mr. X or not. That is the issue. You all agree? Okay, so that is the issue from the problem. So that is the way you will identify the issue. Once you have identified the issue, that then what has happened is you have narrowed the area where you will have to research. It throws a set of facts, one whole page of facts, and then just one issue you have identified, whether Rupesh took money from Mr. X or not. So you have narrowed your entire research into one question. Then you are getting a certain path, a way where you can now you can start beginning your research. Okay, so for that I have given you, look at the questions presented at the end of the problem. So sometimes, or most of the times, issues are already framed and issues are already given to you. Okay, so that will be helpful for you, but you have to remember issues. What is it exactly? Okay, issue means so that is issue. Okay, so sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4 issues are already given. Can anybody tell me how is it possible that there can be 2, 3, 4 issues in a problem? Right now, I just said that whether Rupesh took money from Mr. X or not is the issue, one issue. What could be the additional issues? Who can tell me?
Whether the court has the
The-
jurisdiction to deal with that case or
Yes,
not.
yes, very good, Rupesh. Whether the court has jurisdiction or not, that means whether the matter was taken before the right court or not. Okay, so that could also be another issue. Anybody else with a who can come up with a different issue in this point of time? You can add your own facts also. You add your own story also, so that you can create an additional issue.
Ma'am, the limitation period.
Yes, that could also be an issue, whether the matter was filed within the given limitation period or not. So you see, it is possible that there could be 1, 2, 3, 4 issues in one problem also. Yes, Karmadoma, do you have another issue?
Same, ma'am. I was
Same.
also talking about, ma'am,
Limitation. Okay. So there could be other issues as well with regard to fact also. The fact that it has been mentioned in the fact that the witness was present, so there could be, if there are additional facts, the issue could be like, there was an element of force, whether there was an element of force or influence when this particular witness was present or not. So these kind of issues might also be there. Okay, so depending upon the fact. So these are the, like I said, these are the legal problems that you will be tackling in your written submission. So once you've narrowed down 1, 2, 3, 4 issues, that means now you can just hold those issues and then start researching. Issues part clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Now, once that has been done, you will sit. And so far, I have just told you about reading, reading the rules, reading the fact, then finding out the issue. Now you can sit down with a pen and paper in your hand, and then from the fact that is in your mind and from the law that you've studied so far, what you do is now you start your preliminary research. How are you supposed to do your preliminary research? Start with textbooks. Okay, textbooks. Sorry, expert commentaries. That is expert commentaries. Okay, that was, the arrow is hiding it. Start with textbooks or expert commentaries. That means here when I'm talking about, let's say, I'll give you another example. You all have applied for, since you're in the final year, I'll give you one problem. You all have applied for your LLM. Okay, CLAT, you sat for your CLAT for LLM in a certain college, private college. Then all, 3 of you, Karmadoma, Binita, Rupesh, you all scored 50, 50. All 3 of you have the same score. Okay, for LLM. You cracked it. You cracked the CLAT and you scored 50. Now what happens is, Rupesh and Karmadoma, you got the admission. You got through, and the admission letter also, you got the admission in LLM. Now Binita, you know the score. 3 of you have the same, but Binita has not received the admittance, letter of admittance. Now here what has happened is a simple case of what?
Bias.
Yes, bias on the based on which principle or which provision?
Right.
When I'm saying equal marks,
Natural justice principle.
Equality, natural justice.
when I'm saying provision,
Article 14.
Article
yes,
14, like
Samarpan, yes, 14 equal marks. Listen, all 3 of you have equal marks, but only 2 are getting admission. So here, what will Binita feel? Binita will feel that why, there is a violation of which right? Fundamental right, violation of right to equality, right? So here what has happened is this is a simple problem that I've given you. Okay, so here preliminary research means start with textbooks. So where will you start? Which textbook?
Constitutional law.
Yes, constitutional law or Constitution of India. So you know, when you have studied the fact, you know that okay, it's not inequality ko raisa. So that means firstly, when I've sat down to do my research, please pick up the book of Constitution. Okay, then or expert commentaries means journals. Right now you do not have access, no, online only. If it's available, then it's fine. Otherwise, stick to your law books and online resources, whatever you get on Constitution. Okay, then this will lead you to other authorities. That means when you open Constitution, Article 14 is the page mein nikalna. There will be other cases also cited, no, for under the title of Article 14. So you will get those relevant cases as well. Please note down those cases as well. Okay, once you have read that, now what you write in your copy for your preliminary research is list out every statute or act. That means Article 14. Then somebody said natural justice also, no, principle of natural justice. So start writing that. What are you doing? This is preliminary research. Okay, so this is how you are doing your preliminary research. Then direction, case laws also. There are some leading cases also, no. So please, Maneka Gandhi, so all those cases you will please write down, okay, in your copy. So what you have done right now is you have done your preliminary research. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now, when in the end of this paper, I've written binding and persuasive authorities. No, like I said, that read your textbook, read your provision, read your case laws. What are you doing? You are collecting authorities. Authorities means all the cases, all the provisions, all the laws that you cite before the court, no, to help your case make stronger. So those are authorities, okay, authorities of law. Binding and persuasive means try to find binding authorities. Binding means that if this case of this Rupesh Kamadoma and Binita's case, no, if it has been brought before the High Court of Sikkim, okay, let's say that particular private college was in Sikkim, okay, so the matter has been brought by Binita in the High Court of Sikkim. Now, when you are researching on that case, try to find cases from Sikkim, okay, in the previous date, in the previous year, the High Court of Sikkim itself has given some decisions on equality. That will be the best one, because cases of cases of High Court will be binding on High Court of Sikkim. Also, Supreme Court, cases of Supreme Court will be binding on High Court of Sikkim. But persuasive authorities means if you have cited a case from, let's say, High Court of West Bengal, so that is not a binding authority but a persuasive authority. That means the value of that case that you are citing, no, that might be a little less as compared to the binding authorities. Okay, so that means the High Court of Sikkim is not obligated to follow the principle which has been given by West Bengal High Court. Okay, Supreme Court, yes, it will follow, it has to follow. So it is, let's say in simple words, weightage of that authority or evidence that you are giving before the court, no, that matters. Okay, so find the binding authority. So in simple words, this is preliminary research. But when I said collect the statutes, collect the rules, I'm not just saying make just Constitution of India, Article 14, that's not it. Okay, when you have picked Article 14, you have to do extensive research on Article 14. Read what is given in Article 14, write down the entire provision of Article 14, then read the case laws where judges have given something which is relevant to your case. In that particular case, the High Court has said that when 3 candidates or 4 candidates scored equal marks, then if one has not been given the admission, then it is the violation of Article 14. If you got that from any judgment, then you have got a very good and binding authority. Okay, so try to find that out from the case. Clear? Preliminary research? Okay. Next, okay, and the final, I will say the final thing that you need to do in your preliminary research is IRAC. Okay, once you have read the problem, the rule, then sat down and found out, okay, Article 14 Constitution ko raisa. That means area of law you have found out, no? You are able to find that area of law, or let's say dowry death ko case raisa, whatever, you have found the area of law. Now you have to sit and do what? IRAC. That means issues. Issues again you found out, no? Write down those issues. Then rule. What are the same thing? What are the rules? The section Article 14 raisa, natural justice raisa. Okay, so cite all those authorities, case laws. Okay, if any other any other acts are also there. Then analysis. Now analysis means the law that you have found out. Now you will have to show the application in the fact. Okay, so far you have studied so many laws, first year, second year, third year. Now you have to show that Article 14 says that this is applicable in my case on the following grounds. Now you have to explain that how that law is applicable in your matter. Clear? Can you show the application if you have the provision and the fact and you can relate to it? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you have to show the application also. Then finally, the conclusion. That means you should be able to finally, be clear with the standing that what I'm here to do is, to prove that your lordship, my client, Miss Binita Pradhan, has been deprived of her right to equality, which is her fundamental right given as per the Constitution of India. And the reason is because this. You have to cite all those research, all those authorities that you have found out from your research work. So IRAC, once you have done all that research work, that means you have prepared your skeleton arguments. I will stop here. Okay. You have, once you prepare the skeleton arguments, then once you have that rough arguments with you, then we can start writing the memorial, start drafting the memorial. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. What do I have here? Okay. Okay. Yes, that's it. Okay. So okay, let me stop share here. Okay, so what we discussed right now is how to prepare your skeleton arguments. What was the first step? Who can tell me what was the first step? Neeta, can you tell me what was the first step?
Ma'am, after you gave the mood problem to us,
Yes.
we have to read it fully,
Yes.
and we have to the facts of that mood problem.
Yes.
Then
Okay.
we have to hide
Yes.
facts.
Okay. First is read the rules and read the facts. Second step, when after you have received it, Leela, what will you do? Leela, what will you do after that?
Ma'am, read the problem.
Yes, read the
of that
problem.
case.
Yes. Then what will you do?
Read the fact of that case.
Yes. Then after reading the fact?
Ma'am, highlight the problem. Highlight.
Yes, good.
problem.
Highlight the points which
clear-
are unclear. Yes, that means please clarify all the doubts or area where you find there is a little clarification needed or something that is confusing you. Highlight that and then you can seek clarification from me. Okay, good. Next, third, Avina, can you tell me what is the third step?
Identify the issue from the problems.
Yes, identify the issue from the problem. That means now